Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Liz, Liz on Lucky Street. I wanted to come on here and show you guys a quick flip through of this journal that I have completed. It's a wallpaper journal. I've done one of those, well, I call them wallpaper journals. I've done one of those months and months ago with some really pretty pink, see if I have some gorgeous pink wallpaper that I used for the cover. So this time I used some gorgeous blue, antique blue wallpaper with some gold and flowers. And I'll show you guys the cover in just a sec. So first I'm going to show you the little ephemera folder that I made to go with it. It's from a book page out of a flower book. And just put a couple things in here. There's a little pocket there. You could also tuck something in right there, which I'm going to put these stamps in because I meant to put them in this glassine bag, which I've already put in the journal. So I'll tuck those there. This digital right here is from Cassie, Dust to Roses. This gorgeous butterfly and rose one. And this envelope is Luna Rosu envelope cover, which is gorgeous. This is just like a vellum tag, just a couple layers in there to kind of play with, do what you want. And here is an antique French postcard. Oops, sorry, all over the place. And this handmade paper is from Heather at Rose Hill Paper Cottage. There's another tag. I just keep veering off camera, you guys. I'm sorry. Here's some ledger from a little ledger book. I'm not going to take it out. And here is a piece from an old accounting book from the 1700s. That nice paper. So I thought that would be neat to collage with. Actually, I'll put this the other way. I was planning on recording this earlier in the day, and it's evening. The sun's almost set, so I really don't want a bunch of shadows all over the place. I do want to show the wallpaper though, as most of you know. If you don't know, I will explain super quick. The wallpaper curls unless it's glued down, like it all curls. There's a way to get it uncurled super quick if you're not flattening it out. And I'll show you. So I'll go through this bundle of wallpaper, and I think there's a couple other like pieces of antique paper and ephemera that I stuck in here. The journal was getting so bulky. I just stuck some things in here because it was getting so big. So I kind of wrapped it with this antique wallpaper that's from England. It's red. As you can see, the camera is true to colors on this wallpaper. So you see, you notice how it's kind of like curling. And I've done this to this one already. So if you flip it over, and I do this with manageable pieces. And by manageable, I mean like this size, maybe a little bit bigger. If you kind of curl it the opposite way, the corners, do the corners right here, curl it back, curl the side like that, and then do the corner again. Do the corner, it'll start to lay flat for you. Okay, so that's one way to get your wallpaper to stop curling if you have a smaller piece that you'd like to flatten out quickly. So I will go from the bottom and work my way to the top so I can get this bundle out of the way. Here is a piece from an antique French agenda. Folds out. There's some journaling space there if you wish to use it for that. There's an antique label. It's a gorgeous piece of wallpaper, 1930s. Here's a gorgeous piece of wallpaper. I think this one's the 20s, maybe 30s. This texture is super rough. It's almost like sandpaper feeling. It's pretty cool. It's the roughest one I've had. Here is an old piece of ledger that I put in here. And so I put this one in here, of course, because of the script. I don't know if you guys can see that leaf imprint. I have 3 ledgers where people were using it to press their flowers and their leaves, and this one has by far the best kind of funky impressions left. So I thought that was really pretty. So I'm going to include that. Let me get my pile back. Here's a piece of French wallpaper, 1960s, I believe, maybe 50s. Here's one of those huge pieces of that dictionary page from the 1700s. I'm not going to unfold it, but it is massive. Some old wallpaper, 1950s, with some gold foiling in it. Here's some gorgeous wallpaper from Russia, and I did like this stamp, and then I embossed. You see the black like script on there is kind of shiny, but I embossed it, and I was going to use it to collage with, but I did not, so I'm going to include that in the packet. This is an antique one, purples, greens, and silvers. This is an antique one. 1950s. This is a 1960s French wallpaper, but it's got this pretty embossing on it. I think this one's 50s. And this is a piece from a Prussian roll of wallpaper, vintage, 1950s or 60s. It's embossed. And here's a piece of antique French wallpaper. This is the same wallpaper. And this one is, actually, I'm not quite sure the year, 60s, maybe 70s, from France. Okay, so there is the wallpaper bundle. I'm going to tie it up super quickly while I get it. I can do that later. Okay, so let's get into the journal. So for the closure, I used some antique lace that I kind of did a wrap around. I originally wanted to use this button to kind of wrap it, but the lace was too thick and I couldn't find anything that was suitable, or at least that I liked, to wrap around the button. So it didn't get a wrap around for the button. It got a wrap around for the whole journal. So basically it's just 2 pieces there. So of course you could use it there, or you could always piece it out and use it in different projects. In addition to that, I put this bulldog clip on the spine, but there are some charms here. There's several of these that I wanted to use on the cover as part of the closure, but I could not decide which one. There's a pretty dove. Little key. So I put them all. The black looks really good with the blue, so I put them all on this clip. There's a little prism, so that way whoever gets it can use what they want, or they can leave them all on the clip and use it for later. All right, so this is an antique botany book. The pages were super thin, but this is a leather, it's a leather cover. It's thin leather, but it's nice and sturdy. Here's the wallpaper. Isn't that gorgeous? I used this very sparingly. It's just amazing. I wish I had a whole roll of this. Okay, so inside, I did use a couple digitals, not many, but I will, hopefully I can remember the artist whose shop they came from. I believe this one, as soon as you open up, is Ruby and Pearl. I didn't do anything to the inside. It's just nice and smooth and pretty, and I didn't want to cover that up. This is some antique French fabric here. So, moving onward, here's a piece of antique wallpaper for the whole page there. I've used a lot of the wallpaper as a whole page, which I like doing. I really enjoy it. It gives a lot of texture. There's a little bitty embossed label, the butterfly. Some vintage fabric, and I clipped on some little embroidery tags. I'm not going to unfold this, but this is like a French tissue paper copy from a copybook. On this bottom piece, oh, I'm not too sure. I think that either comes from Ruby and Pearl or Cassie, maybe. I've seen that design several times, but I can't exactly remember which shop. So here we got a pocket here. Here's the antique French fabric sample swatch card. Here's a whole piece of wallpaper here. I might try to zoom in, y'all, so you can kind of see it. I feel like it's kind of hard to see some of the detail in the wallpaper. And sorry, looking for a book. The wallpaper and some of the pages. So let me try to zoom in a little bit. Oh, that's a little better. All right, let's try that. Here's some avocado dyed paper. This is a piece of the original book and a piece of the wallpaper from the cover of the book that I used. There's the page, title page from the book. Here is a pocket. I want to put two pieces in there. Well, you have two copy tissue papers in there. Here's a pocket right here. There's some wallpaper. This, I believe, is Heather at Ruby and Pearl XO. There's also a vintage ticket clipped on to the front of that tissue paper. All right, here's a whole page of antique wallpaper. It's got little silver dots in it. I don't know if you can see them. Little silver dots. Very dainty. And I folded it over to make a pocket. This is from Antique Ledger. It's two pieces, like a little signature piece. Gotta be super careful with these, with the pockets like this. There's a tag made from antique wallpaper. It's just super fragile. Here's a page from an antique photo album, and I stuck a piece of vellum in the window to demonstrate that you can tuck stuff in and out, but do be careful. Again, it's antique. Here's a piece of straw paper, gorgeous yellow coloring. Here is a digital printed on vellum, and I will list, I'm going to link the shop below because I used some of her stuff in a previous journal not too long ago, and I don't think I put the shop below, so I'll do that. Here's some vintage wallpaper. Here's some antique wallpaper with the gold on it that just folds out. Here is, I just cut a corner of an antique marriage thing. It's like super thick, like cardstock, but I just love the rose. Right, so you could journal on the back of here. A lot of the fabrics I used that you saw earlier, I think there's only one or two pieces that's newer. Most of it's vintage feed sack fabric. Here's some wallpaper, and I'm not going to take this page out, but there's a piece of antique French paper. I liked the font there. Thought that would be good for collage. And this is another antique wallpaper page, so do be careful with that, and a vintage label across it. More antique. Can you see the bottom of that? Yeah, more antique wallpaper down there. Let's move the book now. antique wallpaper, some vintage wallpaper there. There's a piece from a antique French prayer book. Gosh, y'all, I'm just like getting all out of out of frame here. I'm sorry. Here's a gold stamp, or an embossed. I'm sorry, it's an embossed stamp. It's flowers. This may be hard to see on film, but it's supposed to be some flowers. And here is a pullout from a flower book. And this is a wallpaper tab, which you could cover that. If you weren't fond of it, you absolutely could. Here's some avocado dyed paper again. French wallpaper, French ledger. There's a little pocket, antique French wallpaper. There's a tag with some wallpaper. Very dainty. I like the colors of this one. And then there's some more antique wallpaper. See, a lot of these, if you touch them, they're, I don't know if you can see the blue on my hand. It's that powdery kind of pigment paint. I'm not exactly sure, but anyway, if you run your fingers across it, you can feel it, which is what makes it so neat with the textures. There's some antique French wallpaper that I collaged on top. Here's some antique wallpaper with the scrolls on it. There's a little tuck spot there. I put some old ledger. Here's some antique French pages. There's another wallpaper tag. It's wallpaper on top of wallpaper. It's a cute tag. Let's see. It's a cute little tab there. I really like that one. Here's a belly band with a pocket. So there's a little pocket there. I'm not going to take this page out. It's like a piece from an embroidery book in there. Here, so this is a vintage doily. It may not be vintage. I'm sorry. I don't think it is. Anyway, so when I was putting this lace, it's like antique French lace pocket here, I was letting it dry, and a little bitty piece of the doily dried right near the crack right there, the spine. So that's why it kind of looks like there's a little bubble there because of that. But here's some French wallpaper right here. This one's gorgeous too. This is one of my favorite wallpapers. And here's a piece from an antique French postcard album, and I just tucked a little plain card in there just to kind of show you can put stuff there. There's some envelopes. This is Luna Rosu. Really good. I love her stuff. I love it. Pocket French wallpaper, antique French book page. Here's a little fold out. Some wallpaper that I folded in here. Let's see how it's kind of rolling. There's a little piece that you could journal on. There's some wallpaper. And here's some more wallpaper. I may not take every piece out, but just because it's so tricky to get back in if it's rolling and curling up. There's some antique wallpaper. All this is wallpaper. This is a piece of watercolor paper. This is some antique French fabric. I embossed some corner, some little corner stamps there and embossed them. Here's the center of the signature. Some gorgeous wallpaper and ledger collaging. Pocket antique wallpaper. Some antique, 40s or 50s wallpaper. Here's an old envelope. And like this is one of those like random pieces that came out of a French ledger. So that will be fun to use in future projects. More wallpaper collage. This is some wallpaper. Of course, that's antique piano paper. This dark color, this ledger is the darkest one I have. Like it's kind of a tan one. It's perfect for collaging on just about anything. It just looks good everywhere you put it. Luna Rosu. Here's the other side of the doily. Antique wallpaper page. Little pocket. There's a little French wallpaper. Here's some of the pretty music paper that I've been using in here. Here's a tag. Little flowers of French wallpaper that I tore out. And this, kind of like a little sketch, is Ruby Heather at Ruby and Pearl XO, I believe. All right, 2 antique wallpapers on this one. This one and this one. A little embossing there. Some gorgeous wallpaper here. A tag. Antique wallpaper for that tab. The other side of that beautiful French. It was like a poetry book. There's some antique French fabric right there. It's fine. Like I said, you guys, I'm filming this kind of late in the day, so I'm going to apologize for the lighting. Here's some antique French wallpaper, the pink stuff right there, and I collaged on that. So here's an antique French postcard. There's some antique, it's kind of like Art Deco wallpaper in the pocket with more wallpaper collaging there. There's some wallpaper in here. So yes, I have tried to stock up on wallpaper. Here's some, this whole page is antique French wallpaper. This is antique French wallpaper. A piece of an invoice. This folds out. Wallpaper at the top. Here's some more wallpaper. And I was going to go back and glue the leaves because I used 2 different glue when I glue wallpaper, because the art glitter glue, some of the wallpaper, if you in ledgers, if you use this glue, it seeps through to the other side. Sometimes when it dries, it goes away. Sometimes it does not. This one did not go away, so I didn't use that. I used the Fabri-Tac on the, the main piece. But as you know, Fabri-Tac, you can't get the small bead of glue that you do with the art glitter glue. So I'll usually go back and glue these pieces with this glue really small to try so it won't seep through. But I didn't, because I thought it looked cute with like the little pieces of the leaf kind of poking off the page, like kind of like a 3D effect. So that's what I did. Left it alone. Piece of antique flower arranging book page. Antique wallpaper. This is some Amity Bloom tape, which I use all the time. It's gorgeous. Here's some antique wallpaper that I embossed. I don't want to take it out because it's super fragile. I shall leave it in there. Here's some antique wallpaper. This one's gorgeous. I'm not big on orange, but this orange blend white is just fabulous. There's some antique wallpaper in the corner there. All right. Let's see here. Not sure. There's a pocket with a little tag here. Wallpaper. Wallpaper. So I don't have a lot of blank pages, but the blank pages I do have, I tried to leave as blank as I could for the journaler or for the collage or for the drawer. There's a little pocket. There's wallpaper in the pocket. Some wallpaper. Beautiful collaging. There's some wallpaper, and this envelope is cut at the top, so I have a piece of dictionary page there, and then I stuck this is a wallpaper page. I stuck this wallpaper behind the envelope. This is a super old piece that's in amazing condition that I folded over the page. I don't use this one. I have a couple of these smaller border rolls. I don't use them that much. They are pretty sturdy. It's usually the older ones that are, but I thought I could share this piece. There's some floral stamps, and kind of straddle that one over the page. Here's some wallpaper, some glassine envelope back here. Here's some pages from a flower book. And there's some French wallpaper collaged on that pocket. This one was fun. So this green is antique wallpaper, but these pink flowers, just these two, this is a separate cutout. These two are from some Art Deco wallpaper from France that I cut the flowers out of and put on there. They were calling to me, so that's what happened. Like I said, this is just a cutout. Here's a piece of antique French ephemera. Stick in there. There's some gorgeous antique French wallpaper on this pocket, on some antique book pages. This is special. This is an orchid that I pressed, one of mine. I've been trying to press the flowers as they fall. And this tag, so I'm gonna clip this back in because I don't want it to fall out. Here's a little glassine bag with some smaller pieces of wallpaper and little bits. This is a wallpaper die cut that you could use as a label. Here is a little cluster and samples of like some vintage feed sack fabric. There's some thicker upholstery fabric on there too. And this is from an antique, I think it was like a French geography book or something, this page right here. Okay, there we go. Here's an acetate pocket. I'm not going to unfold this, but I just thought she was appropriate on this page. This reminds me of a 50s powder room, I guess this pink wallpaper does. Here's a little fold out, so you can journal on that. I think this is from Cassie, Dust to Roses. So this one might have been as well. All right, here's some antique wallpaper. I'm not going to take all these pieces out, but there's some wallpaper tucked in the pocket, 3 different kinds. Here's some wallpaper straddled to the page, this ledger page. This one's really pretty. It's got a pretty flower on it. It's curling, so I'm not going to take it off. This is one of the Luna Rosu envelope covers. Here's some antique French wallpaper. There's some pictures in there, or old photos, sorry. This is some calligraphy paper right there. This is from an old vintage flower book. Here's some antique wallpaper. This is very blue. I used the blue because of the cover, so I just thought I'd incorporate some blue elements in here. Here's some handmade paper from Heather. Rose Hill Paper Cottage. This is some antique wallpaper. This is antique wallpaper. There's some tags in there. Let's see what else. There's some of this is some of the wallpaper from the cover. It's not scanned, that's the real deal. There is a receipt in there along with a piece of wallpaper. And this whole spread out, which includes the pocket. This is Ruby and Pearl XO. She has some pretty ledger wallpaper papers in her shop. This is just clipped an old photograph and a floral die cut. Here is some, this back page is some antique French wallpaper. These are some antique wallpaper pieces again. This is a little acetate window. I stuck a little floral stamp there just to show that you could stick something there. But it does come out. It's not glued in. More wallpaper. There's a French envelope and another die cut. Piece of calligraphy paper. Some feed sack fabric. There's some antique French border paper. There's a tag that I made as well. There's a little piece of wallpaper. This one has some gold detail in it. There's also a vintage piece of ephemera. This is some wallpaper. The yellow is on the side. Goes again to the back. So this page has 3 pieces of wallpaper on it. The pocket's wallpaper, the page is wallpaper, and then the piece, of course, inside the little pocket is wallpaper. Oh, it folds out. There we go. It's been so long since I made this pocket, I forgot. Wallpaper. There's the other side of the French map page. Wallpaper. And this is wallpaper label, and there's some French wallpaper right there with some old receipts. All right, you guys, that about covers it. So thank y'all very much for stopping by. I hope you enjoyed. Bye.